Hello. My name is NicholassRivas. I talk about politics and stuff, and today we're going to be talking about how Kristen Sinema is not a independent. She's recently come out and saying that she is a independent, seceding from the Democrat Party, which what she won of when she took over the Senate seat. She ran as a Democrat. Since then, and since her inception of politics, she's always been this kind of lefty per se. Like on rhetoric, she seemed to be lefty. She was with these very left-leaning organizations. I think she even privied herself to be called a socialist. I could be wrong, but she has recently come out as an independent after years of her showing that she is not an independent. She's not a lefty. I'll give her that. She looks independent, I think, to the outside world. I think she genuinely looks like somebody who will vote Democrat, which she does. She has about, I think, a 50% voting with Trump and the Dems, and so she is. I think on paper, many think that's like split. Like it sounds like she's a. She sounds like an independent, right? Independent, I think a lot of people think is just I'm center, right? And I think it's an issue with how we label, and of course our two-party system, which she does complain about. But she came out, she said, I am no longer Dem, and I'm an independent. And I think many of the right-leaning people were pretty happy of that because, I mean, she's always been somebody who favored to them. Now, her opponent, Martha McSally, who was running, she was definitely a Republican. She would, vote for Trump 90%, with Trump 90% of the time. She was the worst choice if you are a left-wing person, so you take what you get. Kristen Sinema was the better if you were a left-winger. That being said, she wasn't this lefty that people thought, so that's why she was so disappointing. And as her votes became so prominent, and her and Joe Manchin were so key to the Democrats' big bills, she then became a hated figure. So I could see why she felt pushed out. The issue, though, the big problem with her is not that she had this revelation of, I'm politically just not this lefty anymore. That I would have some sort of respect. That I would be okay with. But the issue with her is that she moved for the more right-leaning bills when she started getting funding. There was a big donation from Big Pharma during a drug bill she was dealing with, and she voted against the drug bill. She opposed the drug bill to lower drug costs, and it was found that she had donations from pharma that were pretty large, and she opposed it around the same time. So it's like, how much of that was just her just being bought out? So the big point, the big hubbubaloo, is that she is a person who seems to be bought out rather than she just had a change of opinion. Fine, cool, it is what it is. Now we know, but she's not an independent. She's not somebody who's just conservative in her economic values and her social values. She is a bisexual woman, one of the first, I think, openly bisexual senators. And she seems to be socially left, but then there's just these, big stories where she's so economically right. I'm like, how do you even consider yourself a lefty? So I get her thought process. And I'm hating this praise. It's, oh, look at her, she's independent, she has her own mind. No, she's not. She's just bought out. She's a corporate fuck. She likes her money, and that's fine. It is what it is. I just don't want this that you're independent. She just doesn't want to come out as Republican. I think because she's not as popular in the Republican Party as she thinks she is. I think people just like her because she's useful. But give her policy to policy, people are going to shit on her. Shit, even her sexuality. Like, if you think gay people get it bad, bisexual people are hated. I mean, they're just the weirdos to people. Like, they're the you can't make up your mind group, So good luck trying to get with that party who is pretty intolerant when it comes to these social issues. To them, I think to many, they might just say, I don't care. But to the establishment Republican Party, they were trying to not codify same-sex marriage. They don't like you, my guy. So she can sit there all day and pretend to be whatever the hell she wants. I don't give a shit. But she is not this independent, and it's just straight up, politics. She's trying to play the cool card, and it's working. People like Elon Musk gave her praise, saying that, like, oh, so glad you finally chosen to be independent. You are a free thinker. I think independents at this point are just scared to call themselves Republicans, and I know the two-party system sucks, and I'm not trying to perpetuate it, but there's no other choice at this point. Like, if you could give me a direct ballot and we can have 3 parties and 4 parties, maybe some more funding, maybe some more outreach, maybe they have to have some sort of seat at the dinner table. I don't know, but given the circumstances of every election, there's going to be either one person from Republican or Democrat. I will pick the Democrats at this point because they're the only ones who seems not to, for one, want voter fraud, but for two, align to somewhat of my policies. So I hate to admit that I am aligning with the Democrats because I do have a lot of despisement, anger. I don't know the right words, but for her, she is not that. She's not somebody who wants to break down the party. She wants to become a Republican and not get the hate. Can't blame her. But I don't think this is going to change her voting much because she wasn't voting that great to begin with. When you look at most Democrats, they're voting in the 80%, 90%, quartile of lining with the Democrats or, the president. In the cases of the Sinemas and the Joe Manchins, they are very much lower. I think it's like a split 50-50. I think Sinema was voting 50-50 when Trump was in office. So I could be wrong. But, yeah, it is what it is. Thank you all so much. Have a good one. Peace. Love you.